This is a pretty popular book, so it's very possible that many of you have already read this book. It's life-changing, especially for anyone who's new to the concept of reincarnation and life after death. It was recommended to me by somebody who lost someone really close to them many years ago, and they said that it helped them through the mourning process because they knew after reading this book that this person that they loved, that they lost, wasn't gone, because nobody ever leaves, and this is the book that can get you started on understanding that. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of the books that I've been reading while we've been in quarantine or social distancing or isolating, whatever we can call it. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel we talk about self-development, spirituality, and so much more. I said that wrong. In my video that I recently posted about the 8 habits that I'm keeping after quarantine, the number one question that I received time and time again was, what books are you reading right now? How are you spending your time reading? So I'm happy to share those books with you, and I'd love to talk a little bit about them and why I've really enjoyed them during this time. Before I talk about the books I've been reading, I want to talk about the books I've been listening to on Audible, since today's video sponsor is Audible. So I have revisited 2 of my favorite audiobooks that I recommend to everybody during quarantine because the lessons that they teach are so relevant during this time, because they really help me to connect back to love, back to what's real, back to myself, and back to spirituality whenever I feel like I'm feeling a little bit confused or even a little bit scared. The first book is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and I'm always saying his last name wrong. It's either Tolle or Tolle. I probably listened to this 9-hour book at least 10 times, and every time I listen, a new lesson jumps out at me and sticks with me and changes the course of my day, changes the course of my week, and ultimately changes my life. A New Earth teaches us about moving away from egocentric living and into the heart, living from the heart. Most importantly, it talks about how humanity can create a new reality, a new earth, one that is more loving, more accepting, and more natural to us. I love that in A New Earth, we are being guided in a very practical way how to choose the most positive timeline through our everyday actions and our thoughts. It's really important right now, since we are together choosing the most optimal timeline, to see how that can actually come into manifestation through ourselves, through our personality, through the individual. And A New Earth is a great guide for how to do that. The second book is one that I recommend whenever anyone asks me, what's one book that you'd recommend to anybody? What's the best book you've ever read? So that's Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav. If you've watched some of my videos about books, I'm always recommending Seed of the Soul. This book is one that first deepened my relationship to my multidimensional self. Gary's explanation of evolution, karma, the heart, intuition, intention, and light has changed the way I see reality, the way I see other people, and the way I interact with myself, the way I see myself forever. This was the book that laid out the choice for me. Do you want to learn all the lessons you're meant to learn in this experience, in this existence, through purely 3-dimensional physical means, meaning using your 5 senses that will bring a lot of difficulty and a lot of pain? Do you want to learn through challenges and hardship? Or would you rather learn them through your multidimensional self, through a whole other host of senses and a whole team of other beings who want to assist you in learning? And then Gary taught me how to do that. I listened to these 2 books on Audible. I have them forever. I'm going to keep listening to them over and over and over again. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. Every month, Audible members get 1 credit to pick any title, and during these strange times, members now have access to all of the Audible originals from a monthly selection. It used to be only 2, it's now all of them. Members even get access to podcasts and to guided meditation programs. If you visit audible.com or text Leeor to 500-500, you can get started with a free trial, and you can get one of the books I recommended to you for absolutely free. Both A New Earth and Seed of the Soul are life-changing. If you want a guideline for how to navigate into the new earth that we are currently shifting into, go with A New Earth. If you want to deepen and supercharge your spiritual practice, I recommend going with Seed of the Soul. They are both absolutely incredible, and if you keep your membership, you can just get them both, obviously. So you can get your first audiobook for free, and you can get any audiobook, it doesn't have to be the ones I recommended, at audible.com/Leeor or text Leeor to 500-500. Thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. Now I want to talk about the books that I've been physically reading. A lot of people are always asking me what I'm reading on because I post on Instagram what I'm reading. I have an iPad and I have the Kindle app. I also have a Kindle. I gave it to my mom. She uses it now. And I have the Kindle app on my phone. So that's where I read my physical books, and I also have actual physical books. I still like holding a real book. I like real books for when I'm traveling, but I also like to bring my whole library with me. So that's why I like to have this iPad or a Kindle. So in March, my book club and we read Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn. By the way, my book club, I'll list all the information in the description below. It's just something we do. We just read together, and sometimes we'll get together and talk about the books. So Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn is a book about mindfulness. It's about understanding it and incorporating it into your life in a very practical way. So if you want to get started meditating and living in presence and in the moment at every moment that you can, this is an incredible book to deepen that journey. And I really felt accomplished by the time that I finished it. Because reading it in itself is a practice of presence and mindfulness. Can you be there with its words, with its lessons, fully immersed in its simple yet timeless teachings? This is not a book that's going to get your heart racing, but it's going to give you a lot of aha moments, and it's going to give you practical and useful ways to start meditating or to deepen your meditation, to really find out, like, why am I doing this? What's my intention behind meditating? It will also help you to look at current situations in your life and things that happened to you in the past in broader perspective, and just look at them differently and give you more depth and more understanding to what you go through. The sections are short and easy to digest. One of my favorite parts about this book was its brief talk about fairy tales and the archetypes and how they exist within each one of us, and how through meditation we can elicit and interact with different archetypes and these powers that are within us. It's just a brief section, but it's one of the ones that stood out to me the most through the book. I also appreciated how the book carries the message that meditation is not just something that you do, it's a way of life, it's a way of being, it's a way to react and to observe everything in a mindful way. So that's the third book recommendation, which is Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn. I'll list all the books in the description below. The second book that we read during quarantine for the book club is one that I've read many times before that's truly life-changing, and that is Many Lives, Many Masters. This is a pretty popular book, so it's very possible that many of you have already read this book. It's life-changing, especially for anyone who's new to the concept of reincarnation and life after death. It was recommended to me by somebody who lost someone really close to them many years ago, and they said that it helped them through the mourning process because they knew after reading this book that this person that they loved, that they lost, wasn't gone, because nobody ever leaves, and this is the book that can get you started on understanding that. For absolutely anyone, this book is potentially life-changing and paradigm-shifting. The possibility that YOLO, you only live once, is actually a myth, and in fact, we live many lifetimes, and that we will continue to experience life in many, many ways in different timelines, and this opens us up to a whole new world. This book introduced to me the concept that we travel with a soul group, that the people in our lives that are closest to us right now and that have made the most impact in our lives, our family members, our friends, our romantic relationships, that we travel through timelines together and we are different things for each other in different ways in different times. I thought that was so beautiful and so soothing, so relieving to know that we are with our family and with the people that we love forever in different ways. It's a very, very easy read. It's very entertaining. To me, the stories at times get repetitive, but again, I have read this about 3 times. If it's your first time and you haven't read much about the afterlife or reincarnation, it's going to really fill you up. And I keep hearing from everybody who read it for the first time this time that it's truly life-changing. So aside from the book club, I've been reading a few books on my own too, other than listening and reading those books. Those are the ones I've already finished. The book that I cannot recommend enough right now is The Time of the Black Jaguar by Arkan Lushwala. This is a short book with timeless ancient knowledge that's extremely relevant to our time right now. I made a video inspired by it. You may have already seen it. It should be up, and if it's up, I'll link it in the description below. It's about how we're at the end of a cycle of humanity, and This book takes sacred, invaluable information, indispensable wisdom of ancient people, the indigenous people, and in extension, the knowledge of Mother Earth, of Goddess Gaia, and it gives us a perspective on what's happening right now. The book was actually written in 2011, but it couldn't be more timely. The subject matter aligns with what we're going through right now so well, so eerily, that I believe it was written for this time. That the time that the author talks about is right now. And it does make sense with what he says, that timing-wise, we have entered this time of renewal, and that's where we find ourselves, where humanity finds itself right now. So I highly recommend that, especially while we're experiencing this new way of life right now. I think that if more people read this book, we can continue to shift the consciousness of the planet and never go back to the old paradigm again. So the last book that I want to recommend is one that I reference often, but I'm not actively reading. I will go and read a few pages here and there just to feel connected again. And that book is The End of Your World, Uncensored Straight Talk on the Nature of Enlightenment by Adyashanti. So this spiritual guide describes the path of enlightenment and what comes with it in the most gentle, loving, compassionate, and understanding way, but fully with straight talk, just telling you exactly what's going to happen. So this is a must-have guide for anyone feeling like they're going through their own awakening right now. When I need to be reminded of something, why I'm experiencing something, or when I need to be brought back to my center, I open this book and I just read a few pages and I feel like I've been sorted out and exactly what I needed to read is always there. Right now in this time of the planet, so many people are going through an accelerated awakening. When we are going through this accelerated awakening, which means it's happening so much faster than for people 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when awakening journeys would take decades. They're now literally happening in a fortnight or overnight. Like, it's the craziest thing. So it could feel really lonely and really difficult to go through this right now and to feel like you're alone. One, you're not alone. Hello, Baby Elephant community is here for you. We are all awakening together. Secondly, Adyashanti, all of his works, all of his writing is going to make you feel sane again. It's going to make you feel like, wow, what I'm going through is not that weird. It's happening to other people. It's happened to other people, and it's actually what I'm meant to be going through. I'm meant to be experiencing this. So those are my book recommendations for you. A New Earth, A Seed of the Soul, Many Lives, Many Masters, Wherever You Go, There You Are, Time of the Black Jaguar, and The End of Your World. I hope that you enjoyed my brief talk about each one. I love to talk about books. That's why I started the book club. If you did like it, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that this is a good video and that I can recommend it to other people. Also, please make sure that you subscribe, post notifications on to know whenever I go live or post a new video. Also, if you'd rather that next time I just give you a list somewhere, totally fine, let me know. I'll do that also. Thank you so much for watching though. I appreciate you. I love you. And until next time, as always, keep your vibrations way up.